Hello guys and welcome. In this video I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate how you can massively trivialize and just plow through the tech cave using Structures Plus. Now this is more than likely unintended. This is a little bit, well, this is very cheaty and a bit exploity. What you will need is Structures Plus. You'll need the ability to build on platform saddles, and that includes things like turrets, so that is a server setting which you may need to check. And you'll need a Paraceratherium and a Quetzal, as well as your boss dinosaurs in order to actually, do the Overseer boss itself. Once you have all those things, what you're wanting to do is basically, first things first, have a teleport on the back of a Quetzal. Now, why a Quetzal? Well, for whatever bizarre reason, on a server, I'm not sure about single player, but on a server, you cannot walk a Paracer into the tech cave, even though it says on the wiki that you can. You can't. But you actually can move a Quetzal into the tech cave. So let's go ahead then and let's just chuck on alpha. I've already done it legit, by the way, so, don't worry about progress and such. So what I'm going to be doing then, I'm going to be walking in the Quetzal into the tech cave like this. Very simple. Because apparently this is possible. You can't fly with it, of course, and if you try to fly, it'll kick you off, it'll not let you, etc, etc. But this is what I'm after. Now, as you can see, I got a teleport on the back there, just chilling. So I'll leave the Quetzal there for a moment. And what I want to do is get my other teleporter over here and teleport that mess of a thing. Now, of course, in a tech cave, you cannot build in there. And that includes, you cannot build on platform saddles in the tech cave because it's just a general, like an AoE or an area-wide, limitation. So, I'm going to go ahead and teleport my Parasail onto the Quetzal, which surprisingly actually works quite nicely. So now I have a Parasail in here, despite the fact that I could not fit the Parasail through the door, but I can fit it through everywhere else in sight. So now I have that ugly, dramatic beast in there. Now what you want to do next is go ahead and just follow your Quetzal out. So now your Quetzal's all nice and safe and sound. Don't have to worry about it, all that kind of stuff, yada yada. So now it's fine. Now then, there are two ways that you can go about doing this. The first thing, as you can see here in this incredibly ugly mess of turrets and shields, is you can actually just quite happily brute force it. Oh, that's a tech wreck, that's a bad start. Okay, never mind. I'll demonstrate that one in a moment. The alternative solution, if I can very carefully turn around and not aggro those, using a transmitter all the way to the very back of your saddle, you can go ahead and transmit basically any creature that can fit in here. So let's go ahead then. As my wonderful prime example, I am going to go ahead and download a great big Giga. Let's go ahead then and get that Giga saddled up then. And yeah, so you can actually do the entire tech cave with a Giga alone. I've not done this on alpha, so this is going to be quite an interesting little experiment here for the sake of demonstrating. But I have absolutely plowed through all of this on Gamma, and it is just hilarious. There you go. Took care of the 892 Rex quite nicely. Let's go ahead then. So, that's one way you can do it. You can just run through the entire thing with the Giga. I can happily confirm that the Giga can fit through 100% of the cave all the way into the final room, past the gate. It just cannot walk past, the first gate, which is reasonable. And now with all the turrets switched on, I'm going to go ahead and leave the Giga there. Again, this is all just for demonstration reasons. I'll leave the Giga there, and then we'll crack on with this. Just look at that carnage. Oh, that is disgusting. But using Structures Plus, like I said, this surely is not intended, but using Structures Plus, this is what you can accomplish. It's very cheeky, very exploity, but it utterly trivializes the cave. Now, of course, it's all assuming that you have element, but let's be honest here, if you're going to be doing the tech cave, you surely must have element. Let's go ahead then and wait till I'm safe. I think I'm safe enough as it is. So, let's go ahead then, guys, and just quickly finish off the entire cave, and we'll get straight to the end. Now, as you guys can see, it's a bit of a absolute cluster, but the tech turrets are pretty much dealing with everything behind me, everything that I am missing. Now, there is a Giga ahead of me, and no doubt the turrets are about to aggro that. So this is going to be a very telling moment right now to see how this all deals with the Giga. And there it is. There it is pulled. Let's go ahead and stop following on that just to keep it in place. Now, as much as I'd love to ignore it, I'm going to have to deal with it. But fortunately, the turrets are going to tremendously help me. If it even comes anywhere near me. you know, you could also be very lucky and just dodge it altogether. There we go. Now, my Giga that I'm using is imprinted. That's worth noting, but the Parasite and the Quetzal I've been using earlier, neither of them are imprinted, they're purely just wild tames. So you don't really need much to accomplish this. You know, obviously a decent Giga. But that's about it. And as you guys can see, that Giga was just destroyed. To be quite honest, just absolutely destroyed. Now then, let's crack on towards the end. Now here ahead of us we have the second Giga of the cave. Now one of the many advantages of doing it this way, again very cheaty, but one major advantage to this is you don't have to worry about the AI of your creatures. In my opinion, by far the hardest part about the tech cave, the overseer, everything, is the AI of your dinosaurs and make sure they don't run off, you know, all over the place. This is especially challenging if you're playing as a solo player, because then you are completely, you just have very, very little control over your animals. This, you know, this really just does take out a lot of the difficulty, a lot of the chaos. And the Parasite actually has really, really good pathing and really, really good AI compared to, say, a Rex, which, while significantly stronger, tends to just go flying off and just, you know, just jumps off a cliff all the time. That's, I speak from many experience. The Parasite actually does follow really, really nicely. And the Giga, of course, you know, you are piloting the Giga, therefore you can remain in control of it at all times. Another positive advantage is if you want to bring people with you while you're doing this, and you're a little bit worried that maybe, well, if you're on the Giga, what are they going to do? They could also just chill on the back of the Parasite, or they could also use the teleporter on the Parasite to just support with you. Now, the fact that you can... So I've not tested this entirely, because of course I am solo, but the fact that you can teleport onto the Quetzal that was inside the instance cave really does make me think that, in theory, you could just port people in and out of here. I do not know this, I have not tested it, but I can't really see why you couldn't. Because again, you know, if you can port into the Quetzal in an instance area, why couldn't you port down here? Let's go ahead then, wipe out the final little bit there. And there we go. Right then, so let's go ahead and move into the final room. Now, of course, you can't bring a Parasite, a Quetzal, or a Giga into the Overseer room. I've tested all three of them and none of them work. Again, assuming, you know, you're built on the saddle. Let's go ahead then and put our Giga away, as I obviously don't want to lose Mittens here. She's too precious. Let's go ahead and let's get to the transmitter over here. Let's go ahead and upload Mittens. Now, this is the thing right here. Now that you're in this final room, what you can easily do is just download all your other dinosaurs. You can download all your dinosaurs to use in a tech cave in the Overseer room itself. In other words, you don't have to worry about the pathing of your entire army for the boss in the cave. You don't have to worry about losing your dinosaurs to Gigas, getting them knocked around all over the place and, you know, having them fall into lava or just running around. You don't have to worry about any of that. You can quite easily just download them in a transmitter or a vivarium as well. It does, of course, mean that you have to carry your saddles with you, but that is another perk to have the Parasite, is that you can just level it into weight, you know? It's got more than enough weight to carry a bunch of saddles. Now, here's something that I'm going to actually be testing while I'm demonstrating here. So the teleporter that I have up here is a little bit high up, so I do believe it is going to go ahead and teleport the Parasite. That's fine, that could also be used in testing. What I want to know is, I'm pretty sure, I've not tested it, but I'm pretty sure other players could jump to this teleporter here. In fact, let's go ahead and check it out. So I can go to other ones, so they should in theory be able to come over here. As you can see, the X is where I am in the actual island map. Now, I'm going to go ahead and try teleporting out into, say, this one. If the Parasite comes with me, well, that's fine. Now I know how to rescue it. It did not. Right, so if I was just to have the range on a teleporter set to medium or large, it could easily just move the Parasite to safety. That way you don't waste all of your elements, your turrets and such. So, I'm going to go ahead then, and right, so that is a good point then. So, you cannot teleport into the final room. It probably would have been worth testing it just before the actual gate itself. That was an oversight on my part. But, again, like I said, the Quetzal was at the entrance in the phased area, you know, past loading screen or, you know, that little lag spike. So I do believe it is possible. It makes sense that you can't teleport past the blue line, but, you know, at least you can move your Parasite out to safety if you have the, you know, the teleport range large enough. So guys, there you have it. There's an incredible way to trivialize the TEK cave, to minimize the risk of losing your dinosaurs into the lava, and to, you know, just to guarantee that everyone survives, basically. Everyone survives, everyone gets in there nice and easy, and then you do the Overseer boss room, which I can say from experience is embarrassingly easy compared to the cave. So guys, I hope that helped, and as always, have fun, good luck, and don't exploit for real. You know, mods, okay, but don't exploit for real. That's bad.